Ma'am, thanks for joining us today on Leadership Log, which is a podcast for the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center community on topics of interest. Today, we're speaking with Stacy Betlej-Amodeo from the Rapid Sustainment Office on the Advanced Manufacturing Olympics. And most importantly, we want to talk about the pre-event that's going to be coming up on August 12th. But before we do, let's just get a better understanding, ma'am, if we could. Tell us what the Advanced Manufacturing Olympics are.
Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here to talk about AMO and why folks should come out to our very important event. So first, I'll cover some of the history of how we got here. So folks will remember that Secretary Mattis back in 2018 coined this term, move at the speed of relevance, in his national defense strategy. And what he did was really set the stage for the DoD moving out and developing and deploying new capabilities faster than ever before. You know, we currently spend about 70% of a program's cost in sustaining aircraft. And with our aging fleet, it's really pushing us to look at innovative ways to better maintain these aircraft as parts fail due to their inherent age. So advanced manufacturing techniques, whether it's additive manufacturing or cold spray or other technology areas, are really a game changer as we look to sustain our aging fleet. So AMO was set up to be an accelerator for us to identify specific technology developments in this space that we could then leverage within our enterprise. So by pulling together the broader community, whether that's industry, academia, or even some of our government partners through the other services or the labs, it helps us move quicker and faster in identifying those technologies to deploy.
And when is this event going to be?
So this event, due to COVID-19, we have moved to an entirely virtual event. It will be held October 20th through the 23rd of 2020. It will be hosted on a web-based site called Intrado. So I know there's been a lot of concerns from the community of what platform we're using so that we can ensure ease of use for all the government attendees who face restrictions on what platforms they can access. So we have confirmed that the platform we have selected will be accessible to all.
All right, great. And when will registration for the AMO begin?
So registration for AMO starts on August 12th. So this was set up to coincide with an exciting pre-event that we are holding in conjunction with General Bunch, a commander of Air Force Materiel Command. So on August 12th, we will host a 2-hour event that will highlight General Bunch as our keynote speaker. He will discuss how AMO and specifically advanced manufacturing technology is such an important capability for his AFMC mission to include the work that is happening day in and day out at Air Force Sustainment Center, the work that the labs are doing to contribute in this technology space, and of course our LCMC brethren. So the other component of the August 12th event is focused on COVID-19 response activities, and specifically what the manufacturing community has done to really address community needs with personal protective equipment, or PPE, as you hear in the news quite frequently. So we have partnered with AFRL and America Makes, which is a nonprofit organization that really pulls together the broader manufacturing community for the DoD. America Makes led a significant portion of the COVID-19 response activity within the manufacturing community. And so they will be hosting a panel discussion as well as highlighting 3 specific companies that we have identified that did a tremendous amount of work in moving rapidly to respond to the evolving pandemic implications and really respond to those community needs. So by doing this, we're pulling together a relevant example of how even if you're not someone that is turning the wrench, so to speak, on the flight line, that this technology has broad application to include our communities. So we see folks using 3D printing to print face masks and equipment for ventilators. We've seen just how valuable this technology is, not just within our sustainment community, but in our personal communities at home.
And what is the cost to attend this pre-event?
So the pre-event is completely free, as is the virtual event. So
Okay.
part of the exciting piece of moving to a virtual environment is we were really able to eliminate that cost of folks traveling to the site location, paying an entry fee, etc. So by moving virtually, we've made it easily accessible to all.
Okay. And where can people get more information about attending this, the pre-event?
So our website is the perfect place to go to track all the most up-to-date info. If you go to AFRSO.com, you will see our event webpage where we frequently update announcements and keep the community up to date on the latest and greatest.
So let's move on and talk a little bit about some of the technical challenges, which I know are a big important component of the AMO. So tell us what the purpose of these technical challenges is.
So the technical challenges are really the foundation of the Olympics event. Similar to the sporting event of the Olympics, they're really the cornerstone of bringing out this competitive spirit and a little excitement as we try to identify the latest and greatest emerging technology advancements. So we have been very purposeful in setting up 5 specific technical challenges, and each of them address a relevant problem set that the Air Force sustainment community faces day to day. So we've been very purposeful in how we've established each of the scenarios for the technical challenges to make sure that this provides an enduring impact to the sustainment enterprise, that we are really going after solutions that can be a game changer. So some of the challenges that we have established for the event, the first one is a box of parts challenge that goes after our problems in reverse engineering parts. You know, with aging aircraft, we may not have the drawings and the technical data on parts from decades ago. And so the community has to reverse engineer that part in order to replicate it. So this scenario really gets at the heart of that problem and what technologies are out there to quickly and most effectively reverse engineer these aging aircraft parts. Another challenge that we have is the Air Force is really focused on conventional polymers in our material characterization for 3D printing. So that's somewhat of a limiting factor, because if we're going to get after printing flight critical parts, we really have to expand what materials we're able to print. So we have set up a materials hurdles challenge that really goes after high strength aluminum and how we can quickly print flight critical parts. Because if we look at ways that we can improve readiness on the aircraft side, we've got to be able to produce those flight critical parts.
And who's able to participate in these technical challenges?
So the technical challenges are open to the broader community. It includes industry, including our major OEMs, as well as small businesses or even startups. We've also opened it up to academia. So we're seeing a lot of great work that our college and graduate level students are doing in this space. And so we encourage them to come out. And then of course we have our government partners. So the work that the metal technology offices are doing within the sustainment community, the work that our sister services are doing, whether the Marine Corps or the Army or the Navy, we've seen them start to to really tune into AMO and express interest in participating. So we've cast as wide of a net as possible and encourage everyone that's interested in working in this space to come out.
So I guess it's kind of a moment of serendipity that you went virtual, because that's going to allow you to kind of reach out to more non-traditional players that might not have otherwise had the opportunity or the assets to travel out to the event. So will all components of the AMO be virtual then, so that they can participate in anything?
Yes. So when COVID-19 started to really pick up and we pivoted to the virtual event, it's now that we have the benefit of hindsight, it's been a blessing in disguise.
Right.
Because the fact of the matter is units have limited travel dollars. We were getting a lot of feedback that funding limitations were going to hinder folks from participating in AMO. So the good thing now is everything is virtual with AMO. So even the technical challenges, what the teams are actually competing in, will be executed from their home location and then broadcast on our virtual event platform the week of October 20th. So it really provides attendees an up close and personal look at the challenges, as well as some of the other facets of AMO that they wouldn't necessarily have gotten in a face-to-face in a room full of thousands of people.
Mm-hmm. And so besides the technical challenges, are there other online training opportunities or some other sessions like that? What else is covered?
Yes, so there's a lot more to AMO than just the technical challenges. So we will hear from thought leaders, speakers from across industry, academia, and government. So the Rapid Sustainment Office is governed by a board of directors, and you will hear from some of our board members, including General Bunch, General Warren Berry in half A4, as well as General Morris, the inbound LCMC commander. We are working to identify a thought leader on the industry side and are looking to announce that name within the next month or so. So definitely stay tuned on our website as we announce some of those exciting speakers that we'll be featuring. We will also have an opportunity for a more interactive experience for attendees. So we will have breakout sessions with different thought leaders where folks can ask questions and hear these experts in the technology area answer them in real time. So it's an exciting opportunity for folks to interact even in a virtual landscape. Additionally, we will have some online training opportunities. We're currently working through how to provide that material and what the sign-up process looks. So more info will be released later this summer. Additionally, we have two other aspects of AMO that are important to highlight. We have something called the Innovation Playground and what we're calling a Expo Hall. So the Expo Hall is a traditional booth space that you would see at AFA or another conference like experience. It'll be hosted virtually, so the content will be provided slightly different, but it's an opportunity for our key partners to really highlight what they're doing in this technology area and help educate the community on their efforts. The Innovation Playground is something completely different. It is entirely focused on highlighting the technology. So while we are seeing a lot of additive manufacturing focus in our technical challenges, we recognize that the community is working a lot of exciting technical advancements in areas like AI, AR, VR, and we want to make sure that we pull that into the fold also, because they can be important catalysts for us pushing the envelope forward on the sustainment side. So the Innovation Playground will enable companies to highlight their technology and to essentially demo it on the site. So attendees will get to see it up close in a virtual setting, but to really understand what is emerging with this tech and how it could potentially be leveraged within the Air Force and the DoD. So I encourage any companies that are interested in applying to be featured in the Innovation Playground to go to our website, afrso.com. There is a spot to submit your name, and someone from my team will contact you to talk through the logistics and the details of how to participate in that forum.
Okay. So lastly, let's emphasize why should industry, why should academia, why should they get involved in this event?
That's a great question. So, the purpose of AMO is to collaborate. We recognize that on the Air Force side, that if we're going to identify the most effective solutions to some of our sustainment issues, that we need to work with our industry partners. And so the future potential for collaboration opportunities, whether that is follow-on contracts or opportunities down the road, I'd encourage industry partners to come out, because once you are identified as having a viable technology solution, it really opens the door for future opportunities in working with the RSO, working with other Air Force organizations. A part of the AMO purpose and objective is to quickly identify traditional and non-traditional companies that maybe we haven't worked with in the past. Mm-hmm. And so we're really trying to cast that wide net. And if you're a company that hasn't yet worked with us, we want you to come out to AMO. That is a huge part of the purpose and why we're hosting this event.
Okay. Well, ma'am, thanks very much for joining us today. But before we close, I just want to say, is there anything that you'd like to add, or maybe something we've missed out about the event?
I think we covered most everything. I'd really encourage the community to follow along at our website. We also have a robust social media activity as we ramp up to this event. So a lot of our announcements will be posted on Facebook and LinkedIn. So I encourage you to search for AFRSO and follow along, and hope to see you in October.
All right. That sounds great. Thanks very much for joining us today, ma'am.
Thank you for having me.